Biden waking up to some serious hypocrisy after catching some beauty rest at the UN Climate Summit. The president under fire for crusading to save the planet while traveling with an army of advisors and a massive motorcade. And eco warrior Al Gore is taking heat over his staggering energy consumption.
Hey, Mr. Gore, are you still getting a problem with your Tolman, Tennessee?
We gotta go.
Is the fuel usage still as high?
We gotta go. Sorry.
And Jeff Bezos sparking outrage over his hypocritical carbon emissions. The billionaire flying in on his $65 million private jet and lecturing the public that we need to reduce our carbon footprint.
Back at Earth from up there, the atmosphere seems so thin. The world so finite and so fragile. We must all stand together to protect our world.
All right, Greg, who is the biggest hypocrite of the three of them? Al Gore, Jeff Bezos, who's the other one we were just talking about?
If they all shut up, if they all shut up, their carbon emissions would be sliced in half. That should have landed better.
I'm laughing at
what about? Wait, no, but I got a point I want to make. You know what's weird about this summit? It's not evil, but it feels evil because you have a collection of the richest, most elite people on the planet meeting together on our dime. They aren't paying for it, and they're going to decide how you pay and how you will suffer the rest of your life. They're literally meeting in a remote luxury spot to decide how an Ohio truck driver will bend under their thumb. And then the media applauds this, but this is like the most crystallized example of class warfare. You have a shimmering collection of well-protected elite couples, right, deciding how to fashion an apocalyptic vision in order to protect their power and seize more of it. They weren't even nice enough to invite like a lukewarmer, somebody who believes in global warming but is more reasoned, like a Bjorn Lomborg, to discuss the economics or the technologies. They think so little of us that they meet in front of us and mock us. They're spending our money in doing this. You're right
about that.
So is it evil?
It feels evil.
It feels evil.
Oh, that's right. All right, so Jesse, Biden is in Rome. He's got an 85-car motorcade. Now, obviously, that's absurd. You don't have to talk about that. Who's in 85 cars? I was trying to figure it out. You got security, you got hair, you got makeup, you got a doctor, you got a nurse, you got 85. Who's in those cars?
Biden has a hair person?
That's
definitely
news.
Yes, it depends person.
Yes. Who's in those cars,
You brought that up now 2 times in the last 2 shows. I know what you like to talk about. I don't know who's in the cars, and I know this, Judge, and you know that the Industrial Revolution combined with capitalism lifted all of us out of poverty over here, and that was because of fossil fuels. Now, Joe Biden, liberals, they resent that progress, and they want to attack fossil fuels, and they want to tax and spend to boost this green energy revolution so they can turn around and claim they saved the world. Fact check, I did. So Joe Biden is killing pipelines and permits here in the Western Hemisphere, and now is asking OPEC and Russia to increase production, and just shoveling billions of dollars of our money to GM, so then GM can buy electric vehicle components that are made in China. Then the whole thing is clearly a shakedown, but these 2 guys, they don't even see it. Kerry and Joe Biden. If you have the developing world saying, you're going to have to pay us trillions of dollars to go green, we're considering that, bribing China and India to go green. They're just going to steal our money. They're going to steal our money, and then they're going to keep doing all the other fossil fuels.
I want to ask Harold this. Okay, Harold, how do we have our nation's emissions by the end of this decade, while at the same time we've got Biden pushing Russia and OPEC to keep pushing out the oil and the gas?
So I have a slightly different point of view about this. I think that...
No, it's a question, not a point of view.
So to answer your question, you have to have an all-of-the-above strategy to be able to convert ourselves to where we want to go. You cannot stop using oil and gas and fossil fuel products immediately. And anyone that suggests is lying. You can't fly on a plane, private or public, without gasoline until we get to that point. Now, there are things we can be doing. The richest man in the world, as I've said, is an electric vehicle maker. Elon Musk, he's developing batteries and cars to do this. That's the future, whether it's 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. I do think there is hypocrisy. There's hypocrisy on both sides, but I do think if you're going to preach as some of my party members do, about how we got to abandon this platform. You have to tell America and tell the world how we're going to do it and how this transition will be. I think it was right to kill the pipeline. I would not have done it. I don't think you should build more pipelines going forward. But one of the great things that happened over the last 20 years is we became energy independent as a nation. We produced
under
more.
Trump.
No,
Under Trump,
it was actually done more under Barack Obama. Obama had the wrong posture towards energy and gas. No, but it's the reality. It's just a reality.
Yeah.
But under him, we developed more independent people, fight them and fund them to fight us at the same time by us buying all these gas products. So we have to find our way off of this, I think, for military reasons, for environmental reasons, and for economic reasons.
Okay.
But I hope I answered your question.
So why does Putin get his pipeline, but we can't have our pipeline, Harold?
Yeah, well, that's the question I'm putting to Dagan right now. Okay, Dagan, I'm going to ask Dagan that question. Why is it that he's allowing Putin to run the gas pipeline and he shuts down our XL pipeline?
Because he's weak and he governs for the lefts. He governs for the green agenda. It's really a green religion. I think that he genuinely doesn't understand. Biden doesn't understand and doesn't really like folks who have to drive to work for a living. That he is actively taking food out of the mouths of children by driving up the cost of energy, by driving up the cost of commuting to and from work. Biden's own climate lurch, John Kerry, said we could take our emissions to zero in this country, and it would not make any difference in terms of global climate change and global temperatures. So we could all start riding bicycles, and it could look like an episode from The Walking Dead in the United States, and it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
What they're doing right now is driving up the cost of energy because that's what they want. That's what they want to do. Because it makes these green fuels more economically sensible by doing that.
Okay.
And by the way, why is Elon Musk the richest man in the world and still sucking up subsidies and money from the federal government? Why? Get off the teat,
Yeah, we should all
Elon.
get free electric cars if we subsidize this guy's company, right?
Right.
Right.
All right.